There are many types of Kumiko grids, and in this video, we'll go over how to make the 3 most common, as well as milling Kumiko strips. Basswood is a very soft wood which makes it easier to work with, and you might be able to find it at your local art supply store. These are great for starting out because they're already milled square and have flat faces. I like to think about how I can cut out the strips to maximize yield, taking into account the waste from the saw blade. That waste can be minimized by using a thin kerf blade, which is 3/32 of an inch thick, rather than an 1/8 inch like a standard blade. I'm starting by cutting 1/2 inch strips off of these blocks. As long as you have a sharp blade, you can produce clean strips right off the saw. It's important that these strips are accurate along their width and thickness, so use a good ruler or even calipers when measuring. With all the 1/2 inch strips cut, I've moved my fence over to an 1/8 of an inch. I keep this board on hand that has a few cuts from my 1/8 inch saw blade. This is how I measure the 1/8 inch thickness of the strips. They should be able to slide into these slots without being too tight or too loose, and I reference different slots to make sure that the fit is right. While you have your fence dialed in, it's a good idea to cut more strips than you might think you need for a project. Now that we have our strips, let's start making grids. Square and rectangular grids are the simplest of all the Kumiko grids, and therefore a great place to start. You'll first need to determine how big you want your grid and the spacing you're looking for. I made this crosscut sled specifically to make this process more efficient. While cutting these half laps, it's important to have your saw blade raised to cut halfway through your strips. We're using 1/2 inch thick strips, so the blade needs to be raised 1/4 of an inch high. It's a good idea to start lower than that halfway mark, and make a cut on 2 pieces so that you can test the fit. Now raise the table saw blade slightly and repeat the cut. You might need to do this a couple times so that you can get the right fit. With the blade height dialed in, you can now cut all the half laps according to your project. The spacing in the grid doesn't really matter all that much and will change from project to project. It is a good idea, however, to make all of the same cuts without moving your stop block. For example, if you're making cuts 1/2 of an inch in from the ends, make all of those cuts first, and then move your stop block for the next cuts. Assembling the grid is pretty straightforward, and as long as your half laps are spaced properly and the joint itself is cut perpendicular to the face of the strips, it should go together pretty smoothly. Diamond grids are made very similarly to square grids. For this grid, however, you'll need to cut your half laps at 60 degrees from the blade as opposed to 90. Every other step is exactly the same as the previous grid. Hexagonal grids are a little bit different and slightly trickier to cut. This grid uses a 3-way half-lap joint. You'll need to readjust the blade height so that it's cutting 1/3 into the strip. Using one of the fences, you want to cut lap joints on both sides of the strip, and these cuts should be directly in line with one another. Once you have all of those strips cut, you'll need to adjust the blade height so that it's cutting 2/3 into the strips. Referencing off of the same fence, you want to cut lap joints into new pieces. Now take these strips and use the other fence to overlap these angled cuts. If done correctly, you should have a point in the center of the lap joint. If this point isn't center, your strip was either slightly to the left or to the right for the second cut. And now we can assemble this grid. With the grids made, the next step is the infill, and there are hundreds of patterns to choose from. If you're just getting started in Kumiko and want to see if it's right for you, I make Kumiko starter kits, which can be purchased through a link in the description. They include everything you need except for a chisel to make the popular Asanoha pattern. I hope this helped you understand how Kumiko strips and grids are made. If you have any questions or if you make grids using a different process, please comment below so we can all learn together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.